I recently built a new playback rig for Johan Lenox, and so I'm going to tell you all about it. This is probably one of the better ones I've ever built. I usually am, just getting whatever the artist can afford, but this time we already had all the stuff, so I was just putting it together. Case is from SKB. It's a 3U travel unit. And I have to have the 3U, or I prefer to have the 3U because I do an in-ear monitor as well. A lot of people don't use that, but I do use an in-ear monitor system in mine. This is from 3AD. And then of course I have the Furman in there. And then down here, we have the Apollo Solo and the Play Audio 6. They recently moved the Play Audio 12 to the 1U unit, which I'm not as big of a fan of, but I guess if you had to, you could put the Apollo on top of that. Now, I'll show you the back because this is where all the hard work came in. So I have this all soldered in. I actually just redid some stuff, so it's still not quite all perfect back here, but I'll tighten it all up in a minute here. But you can see I have connections straight on the back so that they can plug right into it on the stage. All I have to do is walk up on stage, get power, which is right there, and connect the Furman for that. And then everything else is already in here. You can see I've got my power supplies in here. I'm actually running my laptop off of this as well because I run the show. Whenever I do rehearsals, I set the whole thing up so that I can go into this X32, and then I have the X32 set up so I can also have in-ears to listen to as well while I'm working. It's always really nice to be able to hear what you're actually going to hear on stage, but I'll show you whenever I play this, we're getting, I'm listening to the click in the mains, but that's just for me. But then the headphones are also getting signal too, so I can check those while I'm doing it. I also keep a mic as well. So I can also check and make sure that the auto-tune is working at the same time, because that's important. I need to make sure that the auto-tune is functioning as well. And it's nice. I use this X32 that I bought a few years back for super cheap. Actually, I think this one was free. The other one cost money, but and then I just run everything in here. This is our regular show setup as well. So whenever I do a show with just me and Johan, we'll do all of it through here as well. And then that's also how I do the violins. I keep the Behringer family together, and I do the DI. So I have 8 channels of DI for all the violins as well. So that's how I do all this. It's pretty simple. We should have a redundant system where I also do the a second laptop that goes into the Play Audio in the front here, and then one remote will control both laptops. But Johan's show is pretty chill, and if something fails, we'll just start it again. We don't care. And it's also a cost thing. You know, it's hard to have 2 laptops and take care of 2 laptops and own 2 laptops that are just for doing a show. So we stick with one and we just make it work. We've never really had any major failures that weren't my fault. Now on the back here, I wanted to show you this too. So these are my in-ears going in here, these 2 here, and then these 8 are for the Play Audio. I only use 8 channels, so I don't need to do the extra 2, even though I probably will add them later. I just didn't feel like it. And then these 2 channels are for the Apollo for so he can have his vocals tuned and a guest vocals tuned. And then these are the 2 outputs. I am actually going to label them all tonight before I leave, but I just wanted to show it before I packed it all up. So that's it. That's the Johan Lenox show rig in a nutshell. There's also one thing I didn't actually add on here, but I do have, is we send click to the violin players directly from the Play Audio. So I actually have a little headphone amp that I plug into this. It's actually inside the case, or else I'd show you. But I have a little headphone amp that I plug in and run out to the violin players so they can get click directly from us whenever they're playing along for the set. If you have any questions, leave them in the old comment section.